Hi, back with another video. I wanted to give my thoughts on the Young Miami situation. Young Miami over the weekend had tweeted that she was having a mental breakdown. She hadn't slept in days, that she was really tired, her energy was off, and she really didn't feel like doing anything. She had also tweeted a couple of tweets before that saying that she's not an option. She's also tweeted that she would never be in a PR relationship. So, my thoughts is that Young Miami is really taking this to heart because she's clearly reading the comments, and a lot of people say, well, she gets comments, of course she has to scroll through. It looks like a lot of people are giving their thoughts, and it's probably getting to her. Now, a lot of people have said that the mental state does not necessarily have to be with Diddy, that why can't just somebody be mentally unstable or in a poor state without it being attached to somebody else. But I'll say, as somebody who's actually gone through depression, is that even though the mental state might be within you and there's struggles that you have to deal with or that you haven't addressed or faced, the people around you at that time, they make a difference. Now, it might not fully cure it because when you're severely depressed or in a state where you just really feel like you can't function, sometimes no one can really do that much to get you out of that funk, but they can do enough to keep you afloat. So if you're around the right people, you'll stay afloat. Like, you'll have something to think about. As opposed to if you're in a really bad relationship, a toxic relationship, uncertain situations, people don't know. The reason why I know that her mental state also has something to do with her being around Diddy is because it's an uncertain situation. When you're depressed, you do not want to be around uncertain situations. And uncertain situations can be, hey, I don't know if I'm going to lose my job. I don't know if this person likes me. I don't know if that person doesn't like me. What am I doing in life? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Shouldn't I be married? Shouldn't I be divorced? Did he cheat on me? If you're in uncertain situations and then depression hits you, it kind of really elevates it to where you can shut down so much. So, Young Miami, I've looked at her pictures and videos of her in Italy, where P. Diddy is right now with his family, and she just looks really empty. And I feel like when she started out the situation with Diddy, she really did believe that she was going to be okay in that scenario. But if you notice one thing that Diddy said when they were doing their sit down, when she asked him something in the equivalent of, does he like to make love or just straight F? And he said, make love. Now, a lot of people might not see that as something, but what that does is actually saying that a guy who likes to make love means he likes to please women, so they go the extra mile. And we know as women, when a man goes the extra mile to always please us and give us a certain aspect and not give us a one bam slam done gone kind of situation, eventually you're going to catch feelings. So even though you were okay with a one-off situation, if he's really doing a good job, eventually your emotions are going to get attached. It's just a natural human function. Now, if he's not really that good, he could be like a little side piece and all of that, and you don't really tell him he's not good, but when he steps across a different way, then you go like, oh, you ain't even this and that, whatever. But when you feel connected to somebody on an emotional level, then a lot of their energy kind of transfers over to you. Now, the problem is with Young Miami is she's an emotional kind of woman, as many of us are. But Diddy is like a guy who has mastered the art of almost removing himself from himself. So he looks like the type of person who could be like, he could cut you off in a day and not even think twice. But Young Miami's the kind of person who, before she cuts you off, she's probably giving you 50 chances or something. And this is just my interpretation from seeing her, because I really like her. I don't like JT, but I like Young Miami. So I just hope that she finds it in her heart to know that the situation she's put herself in is really a setup. And even though the mental um, health breakdown has nothing to do with Diddy from when it started, it will elevate by being around Diddy, because clearly he's not 100% focused on you, and with his track record, he's not an emotionally invested kind of man to be there for a woman. I mean, it speaks with the previous exes that he had. So you're really setting yourself up. And one other thing I want to say is, women should never ever say that they are down to F. Don't put that out in public, because any man who hears that and approaches you, let's say Young Miami stops being with Diddy, whatever, the first thing or the idea that they're going to have being around you is she's down to F, and that's it. And you'll have a lot of men approaching you that you're thinking are interested in you, but they have this idea of you that you said you're just down to F. So never put that out there. Even if you feel like that with a guy, don't even tell the guy himself. Keep it to yourself, so that if your feelings change or your emotions change, you can deal with it by yourself, not worry about sticking in it to prove a point to people, because that's what a lot of people do. You're like, man, I put this out there. I got to show people I'm really about it. So I'm hoping that she really focuses on herself. And to me, Diddy's a toxic person, and she just needs to let him go. Toxic in the sense of he's so self-centered that he really does not have the capacity to really give of himself. So that's my take. And just for people to know that if you're ever feeling down, just, I know this is cliche, but it really does get better, and you always want to surround yourself with the right people. Sometimes take time for just yourself. Do nothing, stay home, watch a movie, just reflect, just be by yourself. Get to know yourself, get to kind of face your difficulties and all of that. And then once you feel strong enough, start surrounding yourself with the people who love you. And then eventually you're going to be doing just much better, because you've like tackled the situations that you've had. And when you go back out there, you're good.